But what's the prognosis? Do they have a shot? Is it always going to be around? Give us kind of the prognosis of the Jersey mob. That's kind of the theme for tonight.
I think because of the glamour, like I said before, and the greed, it'll never be what it once was. There's a business and there's going to be somebody to do it, but I do not think it'll ever be what it once was. And I think greed and the pool that you're pulling from, it's not there.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, whatever happened, you're gonna say his name, but what happened to the guy who rolled on you? Where did he end up? Where's he today?
I don't know. He's around.
Interesting. So I have a theory, and this goes more into, guys that, went to WITSEC or formerly rolled and then went into the program. If you really follow like the lifespan, let's say you take 20 different guys that went into WITSEC or went into whatever situation post life or not WITSEC, right? A lot of them died a few years after, whether they were sick or not sick, for whatever reason. A lot of them wind up getting arrested again and going back to jail and serving time anyway.
Yes.
Some got divorced. Half didn't have their family. Half went broke. Like, imagine you're a wise guy making whatever you're making, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 a month cash. Now you have to get a job and you're only making $2,500 a month gross. You're only clearing a few $100 a month, right? You can't call your friends, can't call your families. So, like, I always wondered if they did a study on what was the outcome of ratting. Like, if they looked at the last 100, 200, 300 rats, if you will, what was the outcome and how did these guys end up? And if you say to somebody, listen, you can roll, but more than likely this is what you're looking for. There was a guy in Jersey, and I forget the name. I was talking about it with somebody. He had dinner with Frank Legambi and the Jersey guys and the New York guys. They met up over here in Kennewick, New Jersey. And he wound up rolling. He taped the conversation. He killed the guy that was going to rat him, and then he killed himself in his own.
Oh, yeah.
I know personally.
What was his name?
I know personally. Nicky Skins.
Nicky
I know personally.
Yeah. Well, so you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I think, again, like not to unpack, but I like to look at exit strategy. Brooke and I always talk about and outcomes, right?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
That was a crime of passion.
Okay.
His son was involved. His son was pinched in the same type of investigation. I think it was a crime of passion. That happened. That was a terrible day. I remember it clearly. I know the people personally. I'm friends with them.
But who did he kill? A guy that
killed Al Rossi. He killed the guy Al Rossi in Bloomfield. Vending machine.
He did it under the stewardship of the feds.
He didn't care. He killed himself 2 days later.
No.
He didn't care. He was a career criminal forever since we were children. He was.
But then why roll? That's what I don't get. Like, I remember reading about that Frank Bologna, right?
I think he rolled.
Yeah.
And made a deal that was going to help his son in his case.
Got it. Because I remember about that Frank Bologna guy, right? He ratted on, I think, like Arlotta and
John Bologna.
John Bologna. No, Frank Bologna.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I remember about him, and he died. He was like diabetes. He was fat. He was sick. And he died like 3 days later. Bro, you can't wait 3 years. Like I just don't. Like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna like hire an intern. I got 20 interns.
The bottom line is, it doesn't end well for anybody involved.
But that's my point. Like, I could see if like there was like an island of informants, and there was like, like Jack in the Boxes and rainbows and unicorns and like whatever. That I get, right? Like, then there's an outcome. But I just like, I don't know if even Henry Hill, like Karen left them. He was like back into drugs. Like, I don't get what's the benefit.
But turning and being a cooperator is another street move. It's a street move. It's not. You're not going to see the Pope and get the holy water thrown on you. Yeah. It's just another street move. They're still street guys. Yeah. Sammy the Bull is still a street guy in his brain.
Yeah.
He is a gangster. He's doing fantastic with what he does, but he is a gangster. He never said anything else. He's not trying to rehabilitate kids and help children. He is what he is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but why? Like, he got to keep his money, right? He avoided a lengthy sentence. He put away, as I understand him, to be his best friend, or at least his important colleague of his, if you will.
Yeah.
and then does something again to go away for 17 years. I can't wrap my head around it.
Not even surprised one bit.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. He's a criminal.
Yeah.
It's in the it's in the brain. It's in the blood. It's in the DNA. It's how the mind works, and it's just a hustle until the day you die.
So, Walter says he likes Tommy. Maybe we'll have a fifth. Instead of the 4 horsemen, we'll be the head of the 5 families. Maybe we get Tommy in on the first. A good guy. Well, Tommy smokes cigars, so that by right.
Oh yeah, I know.
Macanudo White.
Not gonna know what a good. What are you, a bourbon guy? Scotch? What do you drink?
No, I just drink wine. Yeah, I drink wine.
You always drinking wine.
I just like wine. I don't know.
I love it about it. Listen, well, I only reason I don't drink wine because I'm trying to do keto. But
I'll tell you this why. For a lot of years, I smoked cigarettes. I drank every night, going out partying, hanging out, day in, day out. Never a habit. Just it was the life that we were living, right? And I got sick. I ended up with like a hole in my esophagus, and
wow.
I couldn't drink for years. Never was an alcoholic or had a habit or anything. It just deteriorated my esophagus. For 2 years, I had to eat white rice, take acid pills, and eat very, very strict. And then when I started to come around and feel better, I started just drinking wine. And I don't know if I want to hit the hard stuff again. I don't know.
I don't blame you. We're gonna have the 5th horseman. We're gonna call Jerry the graphic guy and have him add a 5th. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna. Hey, Damon, how are you, buddy? Keto is hard. Trust me. I yo-yoing like an MFer. So, all right. So, guys, any other questions you have for Vinny before we wrap up? Vinny or Joe?
Tom, someone asked about Newark. Is Silvio DeVita still there?
Apparently, he's still around. I don't know.
Would he be the most?
Yeah, he's probably.
I think he's the guy that pretty much is the one that would be the guy there, right?
I would assume so.